I didn't know that even a trip via Zoom will take so long. But I'm glad to tell you that we have the man we want to speak with. This conversation will be undone without him. I knew him a long, long time ago, and I am getting to know him better given the fact that he's one person who doesn't play with the culture of the people of the Southeast. Let's make welcome Ike Udechime. Good afternoon from Nigeria. Ike.
And I'm glad to be here.
So,
Hello,
what
everybody.
is the time of the day where you are?
It's uh, precisely after 8 now, or is it after 7? Sure, I'm not really sure because
Okay, that's a
I'm
PM.
just trying to yeah,
Okay, then.
yeah, just now.
Okay. Um, Maybe I should indulge you a bit for you to introduce yourself properly.
All right. My name is my full name is Ikechukwu Udechine. But usually, you know, people call me by Ike Udechime and Ike Chime, all the same. And I'm a native of Enugu in Enugu State of Nigeria. And I am a broadcaster by profession. I have worked with Radio Nigeria way back in the 80s. And when I moved to my present place of abode, which is Finland, Helsinki, the capital, to be precise. I also worked with various media setups, especially, working with the oldest Finnish private radio station, the very first one in Finland, and at the same time being the first African to work in that setup, and the one that exposed Finland to African culture, through the media, through the radio, having an African, qualified African, telling about Africa, its culture, its people, music, and all kind of social life and political life, and so on and so forth. I had a program that takes us around all the countries of Africa, and I call it Sunsplash Africa, and it's a kind of if you may call it a kind of safari, cultural safari that take one country to the other, talking about the people, their way of life, their music, and from there a lot of Finns who, as at that time didn't know much about Africa, were able to get exposed into life in Africa, and I think that kind of gave me a place within the society to do many other things, in terms of social inclusion and cultural advocacy, anti-racism work, and so many other things came from there. Also giving me opportunity to serve in so many committees, in the country that has to do with issues that are related to migration and migrants integration in the Filipino society. It's a very long story. I just have to, be brief about it.
It's good you told your story so that we'll get to connect or reconnect, so to speak. Now, there is something about your story that many people do not know, and that's the fact that you don't just play music, but you play the traditional music. And for you, you call it obotronics. Well, we'll come to that, Ike. We'll
Yeah.
come to that. Now,
Okay. Okay.
in Finland, you developed a progressive attitude. What do I describe as that? Something that ensured that you showcase the Southeast to the Finnish people and to others you came across with. So tell us a little about that.
Yeah. Indeed. I'm a very I'm a person that is very conscious of my cultural background. And when I came to Finland, I knew right away that William has to be, African in general, and of course, uh, being an African or a Nigerian, I am an Igbo person, So my Igbo-ness is my Nigerian-ness, and it's my African-ness. So, like I say, charity begins at home. So, indeed, when I was coming to Finland from Nigeria, I kind of packaged myself in such a way that because I didn't know what to expect, on or how I'm going to engage myself, and so I kind of took some bits of the things I have done with me, like from Radio Nigeria, like some audio recordings from my work, especially in the area of um, Artist of the Week, which was one of the programs I produced in those days. So I knew exactly what I wanted to do, and when I got the opportunity, I concentrated on Africa, on my Igbo-ness, and who I am, because uh, in that sense, I don't have any competition. It's just my thing. Everybody knows that this is his thing. This is where he belongs to. So I had the freedom to carry out my work, without any consulting anybody, but just concentrating on what I'm doing. So the Igbo of the Southeast, generally, because the Southeast is Igbo is Southeast. We are the kind of people who always, wherever we are, you have to know that we are there. It's just natural, We have to get together from our own association and try to practice our culture within the place we live. So around 19, I think it was 1999 or 2000 or thereabout, we got together and formed the Igbo Union of Finland. The Igbo Union of Finland, we were just, few of us then. I think we should be up to about 30, or thereabout. And we started this organization, and I was a pioneer, but the founding member of that organization, and I became the second founding chairperson or chairman of that organization. For I chaired the organization for about 6 years. And then again, years later, we have to start, having our events. Like, for instance, we started our flagship cultural outing, which was the Igbo Yam Festival, Iriji Igbo. And it became a very, very big thing in Finland, in Helsinki in particular, because everybody wanted to be there. We had all the other African, brothers and sisters who attended our event every year, and the Finnish people of different class from both male and female. They always look forward to that, and most importantly, our children, because in those days, most of the Nigerians living in Finland were mostly married to Finnish spouses. So we have children of mixed parentage, mixed culture. So we also use the opportunity of the Igbo Union to, at the same time, teach our children, about their culture, the Nigerian, the Igbo Nigerian culture, through this association and the cultural festival. They were able to learn more about who they are, and it helped to strengthen them, to face whatever, difficulties in terms of their self-confidence and so on and so forth. So that's one aspect. Then again, there's the bigger body, which is the Igbo World Assembly, which is the umbrella of all the organizations of the Igbo people, or the Southeast states, in the whole world. So in America, we have what they call the CISA, the Council of Igbo States in America, CISA. So CISA was one big member of it, and also in Europe we have the EIC, the European Igbo Community. So these two groups have been very active also in using cultural events and workshops and seminars, and even economic forums to promote the Southeast, through activities that project what we do and we are, and so on and so forth. And the Igbo World Assembly, I'm presently the one in charge of media and publicity. This is the DIG, that is the person in charge of media and publicity for the organization.
Sorry, but given all you've said so far, how rich is the culture of the people, especially when the Igbos in Finland and other parts of Europe gather together to celebrate the New Yam Festival that you see as a king of the colors that you spread in terms of culture?
Yeah, usually at the time of the year, which is around August, September, that is when the harvest season, that the Thanksgiving, because that's what it is all about. The Yam Festival is just simply thanking the gods for the fruits of harvest, and the yam being the king of all the food in Igbo land, become the symbol that our forefathers were using to give thanks to God for the proceeds of harvest, because the yam is the most difficult to put to grow, and the success of a man in the olden days is checked based on how many yams you have in your barn, and how many children you have, and how many wives you have, and livestock you have, like in the olden days. So the Yam Festival is a symbol of giving thanks to God. So you can simply call it Thanksgiving. So for us, here in the diaspora, we are people of different professions, and at that time of the year, it's a good time to thank God for uh, all the gains you have made through the year and through whatever profession you are in, be you a doctor, an engineer, or a footballer, or a musician, or whatever you do. During that season, that's when we get together and thank God for keeping us and for giving us the profits and all the gains we have made through our personal, businesses and whatever we do. So this has become a big symbol for the entire diaspora Igbo communities all over the place. Indeed, for us here in Finland, we have also studied like also joining the other Scandinavian Igbo organizations in these carrying out this participating in this festival. For instance, we in Finland we have been attending that of the people in Denmark, for instance, and in Stockholm. And I think this year we might even be extending up to Norway, and they also come to our own events. So this has become a very bonding, kind of activity for the entire Igbo in the diaspora. Those in America also do the same in different states, and its importance cannot be emphasized because it becomes a rallying point for the promotion of Igbo culture in many aspects, like the food, the Igbo culinaries, and also the music, the dance, the Igbo worldview generally. It's been exposed and, during these events, and all the people that our visitors that come for such events, they have a lot to take home each time we have this festival.
One thing that caught my attention is the fact that it has also become a rallying point across Europe, where the celebration goes beyond just Finland or Sweden or one of those countries, but as a rallying point for the Igbos, wherever they are. The New Yam Festival is the main deal. Now, there's also something that struck me. The fact that it's easy to form bridges just because you are from the same Southeast outside the country. So my question is, why is it so difficult for the same sort of bridges to have been formed in the Southeast proper in Nigeria? If it's so easy for you to relate because of culture, why is it in Nigeria we begin to look at the states as individuals and the people of the various states as individuals and not as a people with a common identity?
What an interesting question indeed. And first of all, I have to say that being away from home has a way of waking you up, to your responsibilities. Because when you are far away, you suffer this kind of nostalgia, like, you'll be missing a lot of those things that made you who you are. I think that's one reason that when people are away, far away from home, they begin to look for each other. Because I find it that even in the general sense, in Nigeria in general, you also have the same thing when people are out of Nigeria. They tend to, because we know pretty well that we have a lot of issues, in terms of the ethnic nationalities that make up Nigeria. We always have issues about, you don't come from my place and all that and that, and for that reason, uh, there might be some kind of barrier between us, or what we can do together, what we cannot do together, and even people call each other names and stuff like that. But when you come out in the diaspora, uh, every Nigerian is the same. We become one, and we also work together as one. We have the Nigerian association in Finland here, and it's a very functional organization. And when you get together, you don't even know who is who. And the president is from the southeast, and everybody walks along with him. You know, so the same thing when you look at the Igbo community is the same. When you get back to Igbo land, uh, because of the creation of all the states, people are becoming like self-conscious. They find it difficult to like cooperate with each other. Because Igbo land would have been much bigger than what it is today if all the Igbo states have joint ventures, if they have done projects. Take for instance, linking the entire Igbo land with the rail line. This is something that can easily be done by the different state governments. All they need to do is sit down together and make the decision. They find it fun. Involve private investors in it, and before you know it, the entire state will be linked up, with the rail line. But they cannot do it because of the kind of politics they play up there. So in a nutshell, this issue has to do with the kind of politics we have in Nigeria today, where people are getting very individualistic, and they are losing the sense of collective, ventures, and this whole thing started with from after the Civil War, because the Igbo land was like that during, before the Civil War. People were working together and we had the Igbo Union of those days in every part of the country. People work together. All the education they put their money in the same basket to train people. That was how the level of education in Igbo land rose very, very fast from collective efforts of people from different villages and towns. They all did it as one. But when at the end of the war, the entire Igbo land got broken up, losing the war, and struggling individuals started struggling to make ends meet, and then people started getting more individualistic than collective. Because I remember, I can't remember, reading a book which I can remember what name it was, written by one of the colonial anthropologists, where they said that at the first they went, they had difficulties understanding the Igbo mind, because these are people who are very individualistic, but at the same time, actively, collective when they do things. So it's like they know when to be, when to stick to their own individual beliefs. They can counter each other. If they don't agree with you, they will tell you they don't agree with you. But then when they work together as one. So, but this has been broken. This has been systematically, weakened at the moment, but not totally weakened. I think the development in Ebola today is based mostly on collective and individual input in building schools, roads, and what have you. But still, that doesn't remove the fact that the state creation has also created barriers in terms of, people working together as one.
Yeah, I want to disagree with you only slightly, because if you can unite in diaspora, I think you can still bring that same unity back home for everyone to know that it's the same people, the same culture, and the same unity. And of course, you're the same ones preserving the culture outside Nigeria. So why can't we do it within the confines of the Southeast states? I believe it's doable.
Yeah.
And the way you go about
Yeah.
it, the way the Igbo Union outside Nigeria goes about it too, I think it's doable. Ike
No, the point
Udechime,
is that,
you're also an
yeah,
author.
yeah,
I think we'll look for a day where you'll be opportune to do more than you have done today. I want to say thank you very much for your invaluable contributions, and I look forward to the coming on board of Diaspora Files, where we can really explore these themes with you. Thank you very much. Have
yeah.
a great evening in Finland. For us here in Nigeria, we're still enjoying the late hours of the afternoon. Ike Udechime, thank you again for coming
Thank
to
you.
Southeast News.
Thank you. My pleasure. It's a pleasure.
And that's our program for today. Thank you for being with us. Barry Kumo Ado is my name. We'll be here again tomorrow.